Welcome to Chef It Up. I'm Horatio Smith, your host, and we're here in the ILTV studios in my kitchen once again. I still love this space because I just get to eat some amazing foods by some amazing Bahamian chefs. And with me again, I have Chef Horatio Smith. I think the last time we decided that we're cousins.
We're cousins.
Our families didn't tell us that, but you know that's what we're gonna run with.
Yeah.
And what are we making here today? I smell something that smells really good.
So we're cooking today stuffed pork chops with vegetable spice rice.
Ah, that sounds so good. Pork chops always remind me of coming home from school on a Wednesday. Mommy got home early and I could just smell pork chops frying in the kitchen. We love our pork chops. So what's going to be different about this pork chop we're going to be making today?
Well, the herbs. The herbs we'll be using sage and basil. We're going to have some coriander inside there. So it's going to be a different, kind of like sneaky flavors that you would unexpected. And we're going to, in our stuffing, we're putting some apple inside.
My goodness.
Should be awesome. Yeah.
Apple.
So the sweet and savory will work well together.
That sounds good. And what about the spice rice you talk about? Because I love rice. I love spices. And you're going to marry the two of them for me today.
Well, a lot of times, like I think before we talked about the fact that I cater quite a bit.
Yeah.
And one of the things that parents are trying to do with their children is find fun and interesting ways to get their veggies in.
Okay.
And you know, we like rice.
Yeah.
You chop up those vegetables nice and fine and pop it into that rice. That's an easy.
They don't even know what's in there, right?
Exactly. So it's hidden right in there. So you know, they put a little ketchup on it or whatever, sauce on it, and they go to town. You know, so we try to find ways to infuse vegetables, and for us adults, it adds so much texture to the mouth. Because when you're eating, you have the pork chops, the rice, the vegetables, the different flavors, the different textures in your mouth. It's like a party.
Okay, taste buds going. Let's start cooking.
Let's start cooking.
What do we got first?
So let's start with chopping up the veggies for the rice.
Okay.
So give me the carrot and the zucchini. You can actually pass me that whole bowl.
Okay, great. So we got carrot here, some zucchini, some red peppers, some yellow peppers. We're gonna chop all of those up.
Awesome.
Alrighty, perfect.
Awesome. So this.
What do you like most about making this dish? It sounds hearty. It sounds, like I said, like a good weekday chilling in front of the TV with your family meal. What do we like most about this meal?
This is, like you said, the perfect meal after work. You have some time. You want to do something a little bit different, but still familiar. We all, like Bahamians, they almost always have pork chop in the freezer. You know, like almost always. You know, that's like the meal of the Bahamian family.
Because it's so quick and easy to make, but it's so tasty and delicious, you know?
And it's lean. People don't realize what they call it the other white meat.
The other white meat.
But pork chop is better for your digestion, your digestion than beef.
Really? Why so?
Well, beef takes longer for your body to break down.
Okay, I didn't know
Pork
that.
is much better. It's closer to eating a chicken because it's a white meat versus the dark meat.
Okay, and which cut of the pork chop should we be using? Because I know when you go to the store, you see standard cut. I'm like, which one of these do I need?
I'm glad you asked that question.
See, I'm looking out for y'all. I'm looking out for y'all.
So we have our pork chop here, and I got, that's the oven telling me that it's heating up and ready to go. I got a nice center cut with the bone out.
Oh, so they do this at the
right to your food store.
Really?
You can either look around for them already. Like in my store, they had that already done for me.
Okay. Which store is that? Because we need to know where we can get.
I went to Super Value, and they had them nicely laid out for me.
So you have the option of getting the bone out of your pork chop. I did not know that.
Yes, you can do. You have the center cut, the end cut, and this is a center cut, but with the bone out.
With the bone out.
Right? And
they look like little steaks, you know?
Exactly.
So that doesn't really look like your typical pork chop.
Correct.
So I'm excited about that.
And you would notice they have some ridges on them because they've been tenderized a bit for us.
Okay.
So when we go to season them, they'll be nice and tender.
Nice and good. They're going to sup up all that seasoning and everything.
Exactly.
And just to throw in there, if you guys don't know, Chef Horatio is an amazing chef. I've eaten his food a million times. He works at this fancy little restaurant called Studio Cafe. And the last time I was there, you made me the most amazing tuna tartare is what I had.
Yes.
That was so good. And so, Chef, what other job, like what's your other dream job?
Well, I'm also a party planner.
events.
Yes, I do. I love events. I haven't been doing that as much.
Okay.
But I love to throw a good party.
But they all come together real
They
nicely,
do.
right? Making the food, planning the event.
Correct. They
Like a
all work
one-stop
together.
shop.
Exactly. We can do everything. I mean, obviously, I'm married to Kendria. She is the party mart. So
I just have to plug, I love that he talks about his wife so much on camera, off camera. Like, I just love, like, how you just always talk about her, compliment her. That's real cute.
she's great. She's
That's
great.
good.
I hope
See,
I got a point. Hopefully I got a point. Let me just plug that in there.
Kendria, I'm telling you,
Yes.
give this man some props, okay?
We talk about you all the time.
All the time.
So we have here carrots, zucchini, red peppers.
Okay.
And you can pass me the red onions.
Okay, great.
While you're doing that, I'll turn on.
And this is for our rice, right?
Yes, this is for our rice.
I love a good rice with like lots. You know, my favorite rice is paella.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
and paella, for those of you who don't know, is like a Spanish rice. You have different versions of it. You have rice with like all of these vegetables, just meats like porks and chicken and beef in there, or you get a seafood paella.
Exactly.
I like the combo where you get some seafood and some meats. Could eat it all day. I love
I'm
paella.
in total agreement with you.
Okay, so you guys, we have our stuffed pork chop and our vegetable spice rice about to get going.
That's why we got our rice.
Chef Horatio is in the kitchen with me. We'll be right back. This is Chef It Up. Thank you so much for sticking with us. You're watching Chef It Up. And if you're looking for a nice hearty meal today, you're in the right spot. Chef Horatio Smith is with me in the kitchen and we're whipping up a vegetable spice rice with stuffed pork chops.
That's right.
Okay, so what have we done so far? We chopped up some of our veggies.
Yep, our carrots, our zucchini, and our peppers. We're gonna go ahead and pop this inside a little bowl to the side. That's right here.
All right.
Can you pass me the garlic and the mushrooms, please?
Good. I love it. What kind of mushrooms are we using here today?
These are called silver dollar mushrooms.
Silver dollar mushrooms. And why are those the best ones we're using with this dish?
Well, this is what I had at the store.
You use what you got.
You use what you got. I mean, and in this dish, this is one of those things that honestly, like I used carrots and peppers and zucchini, but you could use whatever. You could use broccoli in your rice. You could use squash in your rice.
Okay.
It's really what's there. You want to get some veggies. You want some color. Mm-hmm. You want a mixture of vegetables that will hold up to give you the crunch, as well as vegetables that will kind of add the flavor.
So
right?
which vegetables would you say don't really hold up under this meal?
The zucchini will wither away, but it will add good flavor to the meal. Mm-hmm. And mushrooms just take on whatever flavor you put with them, and they just add a different dimension to your meal. You could make a meal out of just the veggies and the rice and the mushrooms. You know, you don't have to even add the pork to it.
Yeah.
We're adding the pork. We need it. And as you saw, I wiped off my mushrooms first you don't wash your mushrooms. You just wipe them off. Right?
Why not?
When you wash, it makes them mushy, and it also makes them very rubbery.
Okay.
So what we gonna?
So as I'm pouring my oil in here, I realized that this pan is just beautiful.
It is.
It's not burnt. It's coated. Is this one of those non-stick pans as well?
It is a non-stick pan.
Nice. I love that sound.
And that was garlic I just added to my pot.
So we're tossing in our veggies, our zucchini, our carrots, our red peppers. He added some garlic in there, and now we're throwing in the mushrooms.
Yep. The last ingredient to this pot will be the onions. Now you guys can't smell this at home, but it's amazing.
This smells so good. And that onion just amplified the scent just now.
It really does. It really does. They, they call onions, garlic, and zucchini and celery the trinity, the holy trinity of cooking, because that's where all the flavor comes from.
Nice.
We're building flavor now with the olive oil and the garlic and the veggies in a saute, and we're gonna saute this and just pop it into our pan.
Okay.
Yeah. What you can do for me, please? Can you half this pot with some water?
Okay. So you're gonna take like rice. A medium saucepan and half it with water.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Now, what's the trick to cooking rice? Because let me tell you, Lord knows.
Don't put too much water.
There's a ratio though, not Horatio.
Yes.
But there's a ratio.
Yes. I was just gonna say, there is a ratio of water to rice. It's 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water.
Do you know I know that and I never use that, and my rice is always friendly?
Yes. Most of us do. Most of us
I know the ratio, but I never use it. Why?
I don't know. We're just bad like that. So I just put a very healthy heaping of salt. Because remember now, this is the base for our rice.
So you want me to turn this on?
Yes,
for
please.
the rice?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Right to the highest.
Do we put a little bit of salt in here?
No.
I like to sprinkle salt in my rice.
I see. We're gonna put it. We just put it in this, and so we don't need to put it in that.
See, that's the problem. You know, I just put salt in every dish.
Yeah. So this is gonna be good. I put a lot of salt in the veggies.
Okay. So it makes up for what we don't have over here.
Correct.
Do you put butter in your water for your rice or oil?
You can, but I put oil in here, so I don't need to put oil in there.
I'm just getting it all wrong today.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Well, see,
this smells good.
What I did with this is, food has flavor, and there's certain. It's like when you take your vitamins for your body.
Yeah.
Certain vitamins work well with other vitamins. Yeah. Certain techniques work with certain foods.
Okay, got it.
So the act of taking the vegetables at this point and sauteing them with the garlic and all the flavor, you're building that first coat of flavor. So when you put it in your rice, it already has flavor to start with.
Yeah, so it goes in there with kind of some personality.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
That is
so I'm
awesome.
gonna just take this and we just simply pop this inside here.
Put it into the water. Okay.
Another thing that we did.
Why did I think we were going to add that after the rice was done?
Nope.
Oh, interesting.
In the beginning.
Okay.
But we got the process started. So we started building our flavor from the beginning. All right.
That smells so good, you guys. And if you're cooking along with us, I hope you are. What we just did was we sauteed down our vegetables, our zucchini, our carrots, our onions. What else we had in there? We had some red peppers with some salt, some black pepper, some mushrooms, sauteed that down in some olive oil, tossed it in our pot of water, and we're gonna let that just simmer for a while.
Let it simmer for a while.
Perfect. So what's next?
Next, we're gonna start on our stuffing.
Yay! And this is the stuffing that has apple in it.
Exactly.
I am super excited to see what you're gonna do with these apples right now.
Good. I'm excited too.
Because the only thing I'm thinking about is apple pie.
We talked before about how flavor, changes.
Yes.
Salty, sweet, bitter, and how they all work together. And so the sweet from the apple add a special hint of flavor with the apple and the sage. Those things together, you're gonna be like, what the hell? That's amazing, And those are the things when people come to your house and they eat your food, they're like, what did you put? What was that thing?
Those are the things that keep them coming back.
And that's what you know. That'll be your secret. That's your secret for your guests. They'll be like, oh, you're so awesome, that's why.
So what's your favorite secret ingredient to cook with? Like, what's the one thing you use in most all of your meals?
Well, if you've been to Studio Cafe, you would know what that is.
Oh, I have been, but I don't know what that is.
Cilantro.
Listen to me. They have a cilantro cheesecake. I had their cilantro cheesecake, and let me tell you something. I was dying. A friend and I went there for lunch one day, and we were like, oh, I don't usually do desserts. I don't know why. I don't really like sweets. But we're like, let's just go for dessert today. And we ordered a slice of the cilantro cheesecake. That was so good. How did you come up with putting cilantro in cheesecake?
I cannot take any of the credit for that, truthfully.
So who did that?
That was the first owner. Her name is Janine.
Oh, Janine, thank you.
She came up with that. But the flavor, it was just like my alley. It was right up my alley.
Their flavor profile and everything, right?
Yeah, it was right there. And so, now I've added some new things to the menu as well. But the things that were already there, I just fell in love with. It was easy. So if you're watching and cooking at home, we just cut up about a quarter of a red onion. We're gonna use 2 apples.
2 whole apples.
2 whole apples. Leave the skin on. You didn't see us wash it. We did. We washed our apple ahead of time. Everything was washed ahead of time. And I just had it on the side.
Nice.
So I'm cutting this up nice and big. Don't be afraid. It's not because you're making a stuffing. This is going in something already.
But I'm excited to see how the apples are gonna do though. Are they gonna come out in chunks, or are they gonna be mushed? They're gonna be
in the middle. What I try to do is I cut them up to give you some body.
Okay.
But it's not gonna be so much that it's crunchy.
Okay,
but it's not gonna be soft. You just want it to. It's gonna hold a bit of its firm, and this is one of those things.
Sorry, we don't waste around here.
No.
So, okay, you guys, we have our spiced vegetable rice going. So we're cutting up now some apples and some onions for our surprise stuffing. I'm excited to see what's going to happen there. You guys, you're watching Chef It Up. We'll be right back. That looks really good. And this apple's so sweet. Our kitchen is definitely heating up, you guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us. This is Chef It Up. I have Chef Horatio in the kitchen with me, and our water is boiling.
Boiling. We're gonna add our rice.
And how much rice do we add?
About 1.5 cups of rice.
See, you're a chef, and so you're going without any measuring cups or anything.
Well, the older Bahamians will tell you could feel it.
Yes. My Grammy. I said, Grammy, how much to put? Just pour till you feel it get thick. What does that mean, lady?
The resistance between the spoon and the what's inside of here will tell you how you feel. But for those of you who need a measuring, it's about 1.5 cups.
Yes.
This is basmati rice, by the way, that I'm using. You don't have to use basmati rice. It gives you just enough bite. But it's still, you don't want it to be friendly, but they're cousins, but they ain't like in love. So that's good.
Perfect. And so we're now back over here to our stuffing that we're gonna make for our stuffed pork chops.
Absolutely.
And so we just chopped up some apples that's gonna go in that, as well as some onions. What else are we gonna do?
We're gonna, before we go with the next step, I want you to notice that I use my pan from the vegetables.
Yes, we sauteed our vegetables in here.
And I didn't wash my pan intentionally because I wanted all that flavor that we started. We're gonna keep that flavor going for this. So
saving all that flavors from everything else you cooked in the past.
Exactly. And so that's
Listen, I've never put apples in a frying pan.
Try it.
But you're watching Chef It Up, so anything's bound to happen in this kitchen.
Right. I'm gonna ask you to put some olive oil in that for me, please.
Okay.
You can go light with that because we're gonna also put butter.
Okay, my light. Let's see if this.
Maybe a little bit heavier than that.
That's it?
A little bit more. Great.
Okay.
And then butter. I used about 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter.
This is like the best sound ever. Like that sizzle that just goes. I love it.
Then you can pass me the sage. It smells so good. It's like very soothing, very relaxing.
Nice.
So I'm using about 5 leaves.
So we're gonna use 5 leaves.
And if you guys can't, let me show you this. In this pot, you see that bubbling?
Yeah.
All that caramelization, all the sugars are coming out of the apple. I mean, it's just amazing.
This is bubbling, of course. This is our spice vegetable rice that we have going on here.
I'm gonna let you stir that.
Okay, good. And we're making over here the stuffing for our stuffed pork chops.
Yeah. But let me show you how you stir rice. Okay. What you want to do is go right to the bottom.
Okay.
And you get all the crust from the bottom, or pot cake as we say. And that way you make a rice without pot cake. Okay. So you give it a nice stir. At this point, you can see all the rice is starting to come up and everything is married together there. And so that's when you know that you're not gonna have super friendly rice. You're gonna have just enough. So we're gonna add some of the stuffing, which is right over there. I'm using the breadcrumbs to make my stuffing. Just regular. I went with plain, completely plain, no seasoning at all, because we have so much going on here. You don't want to go crazy. So
tell us then a little bit, I guess, what other ways can we make stuffing? I know we're using apple here as our kind of surprise ingredients. What other surprise ingredients do you think we can use for stuffing?
Well, you can put in your stuffing, you can put seafood.
I love conch in my stuffing.
Yeah, you can put lobster in your stuffing. Like I sometimes use nuts and cranberries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I sometimes use orange in my stuffing, like orange and I use orange and basil in my stuffing a lot, and that's amazing.
Why do I imagine that being the perfect combination?
So good. And then what I use the juice as well as the rind. The rind is the secret ingredient with stuffing. Nice. And this looks really good right now. Yep. I'm just gonna put a little bit of water, about not even a half. I would say about 3-4 tablespoons of water. Okay. Just so that it all comes together good.
Nice. That looks really good.
I'm gonna turn my stove down maybe to half mark.
Okay.
When you're making your stuffing, sometimes you may think that it's looking a little bit dry.
Dry, yeah.
Here's what you want to do: more fat. Butter, baby.
Lord, it's like a Paula Deen kitchen right now. Let's bring on the butter.
Butter. In stuffing, you just can't go wrong with too much butter, because the thing is, it's adding the flavor to the rest of your dish. So you want it to be
brown.
Yeah, you want it to be brown, and you want it to not be like super sticky. Yeah. But you want it to be able to form. Okay. All right. I got it.
Our stuffing is done.
Done. Yes. And I'm sure everybody's at home thinking, when are we gonna start on these pork chops?
Yeah, I know, right?
Right now. Right now. It's gonna be super simple and easy. That's why they're the last thing to be done. Good. Because you just throw some seasoning on them, salt and pepper. You know, our favorites.
Yep.
Lots of pepper. I go to town with the pepper.
I love black pepper on anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like I eat spaghetti at the can and sprinkle a little black pepper on it.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
That's awesome.
I do. It tastes really good.
I also have some Cajun spice here to give you just a little
Cajun
spice.
Nice.
Yeah, you need some spice in your life, you know? That's what it's all about.
We all do. So what we did was we simply seasoned our meat and we stuffed in between them that stuffing that we made, and we're just holding it together with toothpicks.
Yep, super simple.
So this is amazing.
Simple. So
like I wanna bite into it. But good Lord knows I'll get sick.
No, exactly.
But this is good. I love that.
I'm gonna let you put olive oil in your pan.
Olive
oil has a very high smoke tolerance, so it can be, you can use it for frying and for searing. Coconut oil is good if you want to make like rices, and it's super healthy, but it burns very quickly.
Yeah.
So you can't do it on really high heat. So we're gonna take our pork chops.
Pork burgers. Our stuffed pork burgers.
That's right. And we're gonna pop them in the stove.
Man, this looks so good. I'm glad that, you know, these dishes are quick, they're fast, they're easy, the ingredients are simple to find. You can go in your local grocery store and find everything we've used here today. Now the rice is, all the water is gone, but it still has a little more cooking to go.
Yes.
We don't stir anymore at this point.
Stirring is done. At this point, this is called the soaking point.
Yes.
So this just sits, we'll show you. And what I sometimes do, so as not to stir, but to fluff.
Okay, how do you fluff?
With a fork. And I just take my little fork and I get the edges.
Okay.
And I go all the way to the bottom. And I just fluff my rice up. And that way, all of the...
I see the difference already.
Yeah. All the residual moisture is going to come up and start to evacuate out. But it is going to be together. Yeah. Right? But you see how, I just want you to take a note again. Some of your vegetables are completely gone.
Yes.
Some of your vegetables are still there. And it gives, but the ones that are gone are adding all that flavor.
Yeah. They died for a reason.
They did, right? So we're gonna let our pork chops, you hear this, well you can't hear it. I don't know, can you hear it?
Yes, they can hear it.
You can hear the sizzle?
Oh yeah, they can hear it in their kitchen because they should be cooking along with us.
That's right. I'm gonna crank my stove up to the highest and I just let it sizzle and flip it over. And you see that?
Oh, that looks so good.
No time at all.
That looks so good.
You push it down so that you get a good brown on both sides. And you know, it's important for you to get that. You know, you want that nice, all the seasonings are crusting and everything is golden. And the next thing is, I start it on the stove and I finish it in the oven. So when we come back, you'll see, we're gonna put this pork chop in the oven now to finish off.
Okay, so you just leave it here for like 2 minutes on each side.
2 minutes
and then we're gonna pop it in the oven.
4 minutes in total on the stove. And then you finish it in the oven for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes is the max on about 400 degrees. And you should be good to go.
So there you have it, guys. Our dish is just about done. I'm so excited to sink my teeth into that stuffed pork chop. We'll be right back. This is Chef It Up. All right, it's now time for my favorite part of the show. It's time to eat.
The food.
Chef, please do me the honors of dishing up my meal.
Absolutely.
And just to remind you guys again of what we made, oh my God, it's sizzling.
Pork chops.
Stuffed pork chops with a vegetable spice rice.
That's right.
I am super excited to taste this.
Now, anytime,
what should I expect?
You should expect a lot of flavor. You should expect herbs. It's amazing.
Oh, look at how beautifully and easily that cuts.
And if you're home and you're trying to see, okay, is it done? I don't know. Just cut right in the middle. And don't worry, when we go to plate it, you'll see why we cut right down the middle.
Okay, great.
So I will take the rice here.
Okay. So let me turn this off. All right.
So our rice is fully done.
That smells so good.
The flavor is,
this is like the perfect vegetable rice for real, because you have these pounds and just piles of vegetable.
So what we're gonna do, remember we put our little toothpicks inside the pork. So let's make sure pull them out so they don't get in the way.
Perfect. And I'm gonna get some forks over here.
Absolutely. And it takes no time. See, look at this. Inside that pork chop is full and it's completely cooked. And you see how thin it is?
I was just gonna say it's not that thick whole cut of pork chop that kind of chokes you.
That's why
when you try to eat it.
That's why you need 2 pieces, because
this is great.
It's a perfect bite. And I mean, it's just amazing. We're not gonna leave anything on this board.
Please don't. I need all the
We're gonna
scrappings.
put it all here. Awesome. So I'll let you
so
dig
it's time
in.
to dig in.
It's good? Let me test that out.
Chef, this is an absolutely amazing meal. And of course, this meat is just so tender and so
Yeah.
succulent. Where can we find you when we want to eat this meat again?
Well, you can find me on my Facebook page, Horatio Smith. I'm also on Instagram, Horatio Alexander Caters.
This is absolutely amazing, and the apples add an amazing just aspect of the stuffing. You guys, I'm about to stuff my face. Thank you so much for watching Chef It Up. We'll see you next time.
Awesome, guys. Bye.